Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Amber Gale and this is Amber Gale Vids, just teacher things. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about my Praxis reading subtest study plan that I have created that I am putting out in the world for people to use. This is a Google Slides with lots of different resources, over 30 different online resources for you to use to study for the Praxis Subtest 5002. The link to the slideshow is in the description down below. Make sure you check that out. And if you are here from already finding the slideshow, welcome. I'm happy to have you. The first thing I want to talk about is this little disclaimer. This study plan is not an exact science on how to pass these tests. I am not a trained professional in the Praxis field, nor am I extremely experienced in or partnered with the ETS testing company. This is strictly my own personal study plan that helped me achieve a passing score on the Praxis 2 test. I'm only a normal elementary school teacher who just wanted to share my thoughts and opinions with others who may need my help. Nothing in this study plan can give you a direct report on how you will do on the real exam. The information provided in this is only to help enhance your knowledge in the content area. You should be your own judge of what material you need to cover in order to do your best on the exam. I am not responsible for your score on the exam. You are in charge of that. So in this study plan, you will find some free practice tests, some interactive practice questions, and lots of explanations on what to study and how to study for the Reading Practice Subtest 5002. This is just a little letter from me. I'll read it to you. Dear hardworking teacher, there's a lot of information in this slideshow. If you want to go over every bit of information in it, I suggest that you take about 3 days, 2 hours each day to complete it. While there's a lot of good information in here, there's also no need to be wasting time studying these things you already know. So use the table of contents on slide 4 to narrow down what you want to study. As always, I wish you the best of luck on your exam, and don't forget why you became a teacher. With all the love, Amber Gale. So let's get right into it, guys. The first thing I recommend you do is take a free online practice test to assess the areas you need to work on in order to pass this test. This website right here is the best one I can find. It is from Teachers Test Prep, and they give you one free practice test with the correct answer choices with explanations for each subject of the Praxis 2 test. You can click on this image right here. It'll take you directly to that link. You may need to create an account, which you will have to create an account actually, but it is a safe site, so don't be afraid to do that. Take this practice test. It will help you. It will give you an assessment on what you individually need to work on, and then you're going to use that breakdown right here. Is going to give you a test result breakdown to assess what you need to be working on the most in this slideshow. So after you take the test, not only will it tell you what you missed and the correct answers, but it will also give you a breakdown of what you missed and a percentage score for your assessment. Take note of these areas that you need to work on so that you can achieve a passing score. This is my actual test result breakdown from the first time I took the Reading and Language Arts practice test on the Teachers Test Prep site. And I kid you not, it was a 50 something. I can't really see the number from here, but it was a 50 something, and I freaked out and was like, oh my god, I'm gonna fail everything. And I got so upset and so discouraged while I was studying because I could not pass this. Now I'm gonna tell you that I got a 174 on my Praxis real core test, on the real one, and here you can see that I obviously did not score that high. Minimum passing is, I think, 150-ish, 152, 155, something in that area. Double check me, but and I got a 170 something. So that's a pretty significant difference, and this practice test did not reflect that. But there's a but. I would always rather it be harsher when I'm studying than the real thing, so that I am more prepared and even get a better score on the real thing. So being hard on yourself is not always a bad thing, but don't be too hard on yourself. Make sure you know in the back of your mind that this is probably going to be a harder test than the real thing. But I used the study guide that they give you on Teachers Test Prep to break down this slideshow into these 5 sections here. Okay, that is what I've used as a guide for this entire slideshow. So on the next slide, this is your table of contents. This is kind of your home base area for when you're studying. So once you have finished this pre-assessment, you will see the breakdown of what you need to work on. Now, the website, as I just talked about, gives you a study guide that you can click on each section and see the breakdown. But here, I provided more material that is not from this company, that is from outside resources for you to use for each subsection. So click on the image of whatever section you want to work on the most in order to view resources in that content area. So I'm going to start and go over the foundational skills of reading. So you can click on this little notebook here that's so cute. And it's going to take you to the foundational skills of reading. So in this section, you will go through the steps in the order listed below, 1 through 5. There are 5 YouTube videos, as you can see, and 3 of these sections have little note cards here that are Quizlets, I believe. They are Quizlets, or at least terms that are online for you to study. And I've broken each section down into a different subsection. So the first step is about the phonological awareness. Watch the video, take notes on phonological awareness. If you do not know phonological awareness, you need to know every piece and every information, every little piece of information you can find about phonological awareness is valid and important for this test. Then you can click on the card right here to test yourself on those terms. The second step is going to be to understand more about word analysis and how to apply that into the classroom. So take a look at this video. It's a short video. She does a very good job of explaining word analysis and how it works. I think for me, seeing it firsthand being used in a classroom is easier for me to comprehend than trying to read the strategy from a textbook or from a Word document or whatever. I think it's just easier to see it firsthand. And so I linked a video that kind of shows you firsthand how it looks in the classroom. The third step is about understanding how language develops at a young age. Take note of this video as well. This is just showing you the steps of language development, and it's also very important to understand that and to have a good grasp of language development. The fourth step is all about the acquisition of subsequent languages, which is a mouthful. Obviously, this video will really help clear up those stages and just give you a little bit of a better understanding about it. And then I also included a Quizlet because that is a section that is not very frequently talked about, and at least not in the education I have received in college, but this will just give you a little bit more of an explanation of that. And then step 5 is about developing literacy. Take a quick look at this video to go over important terms and then use the Quizlet to do that as well. Once you have finished steps 1 through 5, you can then click on this arrow down here and it will take you to this slide for you to test what you have learned. So click on the test box and there'll be a few questions to answer about this section. Now, I'm going to let you in on a little bit of a secret, okay? The 5 questions that you will see when you click on this link here are 5 questions that are directly off of the ETS practice test that I purchased for the reading and language arts. They are directly from it. I copied and pasted it, did not change any wording. So use that to your advantage to really see what kind of questions they are using and how they are wording these questions. I think that is very important. Once you have finished that, you can then click on this little table of contents over here and go back to your main slide. So I'm going to continue doing this for each of these sections. So we're going to move on to literature and informational text. This is what the section looks like. So in this section, you can click on the image of the activity that you want to do. These do not have to be in order, and you can start on whichever one you want to. So this one is about main idea. You would click here. It will take you directly to the link. Use this document to learn about identifying the main idea of passages. Pages 3 and 4 have practice questions on them. Basic elements. Use this quizzes to help you review terms about basic elements of fiction and nonfiction. Again, it is a quizzes, so you have to know how to operate that. Literary terms. Use this Quizlet to review some terms that are important to have in your brain so you can better understand this section. It's a Quizlet. Structural elements. So you're going to first click here, where it says here, to view the worksheet that is mentioned in the video, and then click the image to watch the video. So there's going to be a video here when you click it. It's a YouTube video, and then you're going to have a worksheet that goes along with it. So they're both right there, and they're all about structural elements. POV is point of view, so use this video as a refresher of point of view. For me, I love point of view. It makes a lot of sense to me. I've always loved it. So this is just a video of a refresher of those things that we kind of learned in 6th grade. You may have to jog your memory about. And then reading comprehension. Obviously, we've done reading comprehension for years and years and years and years and years, and you're always developing better comprehension. And so this is just a little bit of a quick practice of reading some short passages and answering some questions about it. When you're done with all this, you can click the table of contents in the bottom. Then you're back to your main page, and we're going to look at the writing section. Again, this is pretty much the same thing as the last one. So in this section, you can choose from a couple of different activities to improve your knowledge of writing. Click on the name of each subsection to see the activity. These do not have to be done in order, so you can go through any of these. There are activities about the types of writing, about the research process, about evaluating writing, effective writing, and the developmental stage of writing. Now, I will say the developmental stage of writing and types of writing are two that are very heavily talked about with the Praxis test, so I would really make sure you understand these two sections. Over here in this corner, you can see that this is just an extra video to help you improve your own writing, because the better you write yourself, the more likely you are to understand the writing section in teaching. So improving your own writing and improving your own skills will help you when studying for these tests. And when you're done, you click the table of contents and go back to your main slide here. The next section is all about language. This one is a big deal. You think language is pretty easy because we talk all the time, but there's a lot of terms to language that are important to know, and a lot of terms that I didn't know when I was studying. So this one is about sentence phrases. This is the same kind of setup as we had in the last couple slides. So sentence phrasing, this is a short activity to help you better understand different phrasing and sentences. Okay, that's important to know those terms. Very important to know the terms and how they use them. I think they have changed since we were in school, or at least since I was in school. So I would highly suggest you review those. Syntax, that is very important. On this website, you will see a list of words on the left-hand side when you click on this, and it will just give you the definition of those words, and I suggest you either make some flashcards or you at least are able to use this website to kind of help memorize those. Sentence types, this is a quiz to help you better understand the sentence types. Again, just a little quiz online for you to take. Semantics, this is a big one. This video talks about pragmatics and semantics a lot, so please know the difference between your syntax, semantics, and pragmatics. You need to know the difference between all of those. Those are very important for taking the Praxis test, okay? Then we have the ELL video here. This is all about English language learners or English as a second language, any of those kind of things. I had several questions on my Praxis test that were questions like, which lesson plan would be best for an English language learner? Those kind of questions that were very heavily put on my test. So make sure you understand those strategies and understand how to navigate those kind of questions and know what's best for English language learners. Again, when you finished, you can click your table of contents button down here. And that will bring us to the last section. So at this point, you're probably very tired of listening to me talk, but we're almost done. We're gonna look at the speaking and listening section. This one is a little bit smaller than the other sections for good reason. The first thing I have right here is Common Core standards. It's literally just the Common Core standards. I suggest that you review them. I don't think you need to memorize them, but I had at least one or two questions on my Praxis test that were about Common Core standards. I thought that it was really crazy that they were there because we don't even really use Common Core. We kind of use SOLs in Virginia, so I thought it was a little odd. But they did ask me, like, which lesson plan is best for this Common Core standard, and they did give me the standard, and it was related to reading and language arts, of course. But I just think that it might be beneficial a little bit to be familiar with those and familiar with what they require in Common Core. Then here you can click on this little speech bubble, and it's going to bring you to a website that are going to give you several activities about the parts of speech. So this one's going to tell you the different parts of speech, and I will suggest that you know these. Like, everything in here are things that I remember having questions about. That's what I try to do, is remember what questions I had and try my best to include those in this slideshow. And this final little piece here is about the 4 different types of listening. Yes, there are 4 different types of listening. I did not know this until I saw this question on my Praxis exam, the real one, and I was like, what are the 4 types of listening? Because I didn't know that existed. And so this video will help clear that up for you, and just another tidbit of information to kind of put in the back of your brain that you might be tested on. And then this little guy, I just thought he was so cute, so I had to include him. I mean, come on, speaking, listening, he's kind of yelling. He's cute, right? He's cute. Okay, table of contents. So once you have finished all of these sections, you can click on the check mark down here and it will take you to the all done slide. So, is everything that could be on your exam covered in the study plan? No, but a whole lot of it is. There is no way you could possibly be studying hard enough to cover everything that could potentially be on the reading subtest. You have to trust yourself and know that you are capable of doing this. You is kind, you is smart, and you is important. I think those are very powerful words that you should remember, especially going in on the day of your test. And finally, let's just build a community here. So you can click on this image right here to go to a discussion board, an online discussion board, where you can leave me an honest comment on how the study plan worked or didn't work for you. Let me know how I can improve my craft, and this link will ask for a password, which is listed below. You can click here and it will ask you for a room pin. The room pin number is right there. You can click right here, it'll take you to the exact same place as this picture will, or you can use a QR code and it will scan you to the right room. The password is Amber Gale Vids if it asks you, and if there's something that you found on your exam that's not mentioned in the slideshow, please post it in a comment in this discussion board, and we're able to kind of build this community where we can help each other and establish these different ways that we can study. And finally, thank you so much for trusting me enough to study this Google Slides. Know that I believe in you and will pray that your test goes well. I promise I will. Now, you can leave a comment down in the comment box below of this video as well, and let me know how you're doing. And also, please don't be afraid to share other resources that you think are valuable for this test. There's so much information out there, and it's so hard to decipher what to study and what not to study. So I tried to make this as personable as possible and as informative as possible. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I cannot wait to catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.